I mean, you were my professor in college.
Yes.
For the record.
Yes.
Broadcast production pa. Baba ng grade na binigay mo sa akin, ha?
Ba't ano mo ina-announce yung mga ganyan dito? Dapat hindi na to kasali, dapat ini-edit na to eh.
You made me feel so mediocre.
I did. Well, look what happened to you. That was incentive for you to become who you are now.
Teka lang, itong gusto ko sa lahat. Hindi nyo rin alam to. Alam niyo bang dancer si Che?
Pati ba nito ungkatin mo, Luchi? Ano ba yan?
Siyempre, Women's Month eh. Pakita naman natin.
Women's Month?
Oo. How would you hail truth, having been a journalist after 4 decades?
Actually, I think in today's milieu, truth is being tested and being challenged.
Isipin
we're
ko
good
na lang
now. We're good now.
Oo. Yeah.
Thank you, Margie. Thank you.
Alam mo, Che, I just finished another interview.
Uh-huh.
And that person said to me, wait, kailan umaba ang buhok mo? Sabi ko, matagal na. Tapos sabi niya, kasi di ba maiksi yung buhok mo? Anong probe? Ayun! Probe!
At
Probe!
talaga? Natatandaan niya?
Yeah, and then, nasa na si Che? You know, Che, probe is like, it's become our mark. You know, I've been through GMA, ABS-CBN,
You've been through all of them.
TV5, so many other programs.
Yes,
But to
yes.
this day, people say to me, si Luchi. Yes! Probe!
Kasi, that was our first ever venture into TV, di ba?
Hindi, tsaka I think that Probe really made an impact, no?
Yeah, maybe we were different. I don't know.
And the times then
Yeah.
really needed a probe. And people were so hungry for true, investigative news.
I'm Che Lazaro for the Probe team. We're standing in the torture chamber of Fort Santiago.
So,
And
ayun.
changes were so rapid at that time.
Yes.
Right? Ang
Pero,
daming storya.
kwento mo nga, kasi ang daming hindi nakakaalam that we really started
From scratch.
from nothing.
From
Really,
nothing. It was
virtually.
you,
Maria!
me, and Maria. Right? In the bedroom of my son.
Yes.
In another house.
Yes.
Na we would sleep there, we would edit, we would write.
We would sleep
We
on
would
the floor to take a break from the editing and the
Yes.
transcribing.
And then we would voluminous. I think we were one of the first that did transcriptions.
Oh,
no?
yeah. At bago tayo magpatuloy, mag-subscribe naman kayo, paki-click ito, mag-like na rin, at kung may suggestion kayo ng Kausapang Real with Luchi, put it down in the comment section and we'll do our level best to get it for you.
But at the same time, while we were doing that, we were all also learning, di ba? Kasi wala naman tayong formal
tayong
background. We were mentoring ourselves.
Yeah.
But
Ngayon, di ba?
those were really nice days. When you look back to it, we had fun, pero hirap tayo nun.
Yeah, but we had so much energy. I
Yeah.
think
And the nice thing about Probe is that we were parang like-minded,
Yeah. One goal,
yeah.
one standard.
Yeah,
Diba?
oo.
No, but it didn't mean that we didn't have disagreements. That's what happened during the Monday
Meeting.
sessions.
Yes.
Grabe yung talagang
It was
somebody would
traumatic.
suggest this and somebody would say, nagawa na yan. Hindi, wala silang angulo ng ganito. Luma na rin yan. Tsaka grabe. Kasi yung tsugi, yung parang feeling nila, we thought all weekend for the story lineup.
Tonight, we welcome you to the initial telecast of Probe.
Talking about glamour, Che, my.
What happened?
You know, when I watch Probe now, yun nga sa Probe archives, and I see myself, I'm like,
You scared of yourself?
Wag na lang yung stand up. May tsura.
You mean to say they will not recognize the younger Luchi? Of course they will. Of course they
Say,
will.
ang pangit pala nito.
Well, you can just say that's
Now,
that's what
we had no
makeup
makeup.
does.
I really, apart from powder, I really wore no makeup.
At saka we were really focused on what we were going to
Yeah,
say.
wala.
What we
Parang-
were going to say.
Ang galing nga nun. We weren't measured talaga by the way we looked or the way we dressed, di ba? Wala eh.
And now I'm remembering some of the outfits. Oh my God.
Yung parang,
Yeah.
suot ko talaga yan. What was I thinking?
Yeah, what were you thinking? But we were, kasi, you know, the stories we did were really on site. We were not helicopter reporters where we would just stay in a safe place,
Yeah.
a
No.
nice, an air-conditioned safe place, and let the crew go out and shoot. We were actually there in the middle of the disaster. You remember the time na bago pa tayo, when we used to call for interviews,
Yeah.
sasabihin ng mga kausap.
Yeah. Hello?
Oh.
Sino to? This is so-and-so from the probe team. Saan? The probe team? Probe? Grove? Di ba probe? Probe? Hindi, P-R-O-B-E po. You have to spell.
And Grove was a restaurant.
Grove was a
So,
restaurant at that
time. So, pinagkakamalan tayong restaurant
Yeah.
and all kinds of other things except the news magazine that they've never heard of.
For a while, talagang feeling natin nun, parang I don't think we'll ever graduate to something like 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Which
oo.
was our dream, right?
Which is our peg.
We
Which is our
wanted to,
peg.
Yeah, we wanted to be the 60,
Like 60
minutes
yeah.
of the Philippines at that time.
And I think we
diba?
achieved it,
I
no?
think so.
Yeah.
Makailang ulit na tayong binubulabog ng mga balita ukol sa pedophilia, iba't ibang lugar at saring-saring biktima.
Ako, I
Yeah,
like the
what-
stories about
yeah.
children. Pero some of those stories were sad kasi may
Yeah,
mga child
many.
abuse.
Ako ang natatandaan ko yung mga NPA stories.
Yes, of course.
Ikaw nagkalabaw ka pa di ba?
Oo.
Ako naman hindi, yung mga graves. Mga deep penetration agents.
Agents.
And they started to suspect that some of those who were among the ranks were just DPAs. And lahat ng pinagdudahan nila, di ba? Apparently, binaril nila, then nilibing.
Buried.
And then, nalaman yun ng military. We covered the, yun na nga,
Exhumation.
exhumation.
Oh my God.
Yung mga ganon.
Di ka
Tapos
ba-
I really
How did
remember
you-
that it
how
was
did you-
stinky and then it
Yeah.
would lie.
Yeah.
Pero
You know, if you ask me to do that now, I will not go.
ako rin.
So why did you go?
Iba talaga
Iba yung attitude.
energy,
Oo.
tsaka yung curiosity
Yeah.
ng bata.
Yeah. Oo, talaga.
You do come to a point where you feel like everything is been
Possible.
there, done that, kind of. And
oo.
I think I'm pretty much
There.
You are just all parang napaka-single-minded.
Mga
Yung-
baliw nga eh.
Parang we lived for the next story.
Yes, we did.
And the story had to be
As good as the last one or better. Without the teamwork, there would have been no story. I think the tribute really belongs to the team. I feel very blessed to have worked with you.
Ay, lalo
And
na
with-
ako.
and with
Let me
Maria.
just tell you that Probe was an inspiration, but even more so Che. And by that I mean not just because of Probe Che. I would tell people this that seeing you and Tito Del hug each other at the end of the workday to just say hello, because my mom and dad they lived in another time.
Yeah.
And they came from a different
No, sometimes we
generation.
don't hug. We just
They were
pass
not
each other.
touchy-feely at all. Kayong dalawa, when I saw you talaga, parang Tito Del came home and we were having dinner and then you stood up and you just hugged him.
Oo.
Ay, sweetheart.
Hug a bear.
I said to myself, gusto ko pag nag-asawa ko, ganyan kami. I really, Che.
talaga.
I may kwento this to people.
Ah, sweet naman.
Yeah.
Huwag niyo isali yan ha. Huwag niyo
Ay,
isali
hindi,
yan.
kasama yun, no.
Huwag niyo isali yan. Edit out ha.
I don't think people know that you come from a heroic lineage. Ang lolo po ni Cheche ay si General Vicente Lim na until very recently was in one of our peso bills.
Yeah.
Until na-replace ng Philippine Eagle ba nag-replace?
Philippine Eagle. Oo. The 3 heroes were replaced by an eagle.
But you know, tell us about your lolo.
So my lolo, I never met him, but I've heard so many stories about him through my lola. He was from Calamba, Laguna.
Okay.
And so he grew up in the province. They had a house on another street in the same area as the Rizal house.
Wow,
Diba?
okay.
There's that house of Rizal.
Yeah.
It's, I think 2 streets
So,
down
kapitbahay.
was the house of his relatives. He got a scholarship to West Point
Wow.
when he was
Okay.
when he was a young man.
West Point, parang PMA mas.
Yeah,
the
PMA
States,
ng
no?
Amerika.
Yes.
So, when he got to West Point, he got in because he had very high scores in math.
Okay.
But he couldn't speak English.
Ay, bakit?
So,
Kasi-
probinsyano siya eh.
Tsaka panahon
Galing
pa
siya
nila Rizal,
sa
diba?
galing siya sa Laguna eh.
Yeah.
So kailangan mag-fast track siya dun sa English. He probably knew a little bit.
Yeah.
So he had to be
Trained.
learn English right away. So he went to the academy and it turned out that because he was very good in math, he used to tutor some of the cadets in math,
Okay.
right? Kaklase niya si Dwight Eisenhower.
Wow! Naging presidente.
Naging presidente.
Oo.
And then their class was, I'm not sure if it's the class where they said the stars fell over this class kasi maraming naging generals because
Really?
after that, nung nag-graduate na sila, a few years after that, World War II broke out. So my lolo came home to the Philippines, met my lola who is another outstanding woman. She was the first cum laude graduate of UP in math. Also in math, ha? What happened to me? Look what happened to me. I cannot add or subtract.
Aldaba yata to,
It missed my head. Lumampas. So anyway, they got married. They had the military wedding. 4 boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
6 children.
So ito na yung
And my daddy.
daddy mo.
My daddy
Yeah.
was the eldest boy.
Yes.
So my grandfather was called to war. He was with the Philippine Army and he led one of the contingents that defended one of the last stands in Abukay in Tagaytay
Alright.
against the Japanese. When it was time to retreat because
Tatalo na.
natalo na tayo, he was contacted. General MacArthur was parang gathering all of the generals
To hide in Australia.
to hide in Australia. And he and his assistant took a batel, which is like a big, it's a big boat, a flat boat.
Okay.
His assistant hung his bag on the side of the steps going down to the first floor of the batel.
Okay.
And the Japanese officer who stopped the batel went down to inspect
Hala.
who was inside the batel. So they were dressed in ordinary working clothes, right?
Oo.
Nung bumaba siya dun sa steps, nauntog siya dun sa bag. Na-discover ngayon that there was this bag and there was this pistol inside the bag.
Oh, wow!
So they took my lolo and they took the assistant. He was incarcerated and then eventually he was beheaded by the Japanese.
Oh, napugutan talaga.
They never found his body. There is a memorial to him at one of the cemeteries here, but they never found his body.
So these are the stories that we never really heard of because they're not in the history books, no? And he's just one of many, I would imagine.
Yes,
na talagang
yes. He was-
literally
Who defended
died for
our country.
defending our country.
Yes,
Died
yes.
defending our
Yeah.
country.
Naging konduktora.
Sabi na nga ba eh, magiging konduktora? I had fun. At the end of the day, ang natutunan ko dun sa pagkukonduktora is na-appreciate ko yung trabaho ng konduktora.
Teka lang, itong gusto ko sa lahat.
Ano?
Hindi nyo rin alam to. Alam niyo bang dancer si Cheche?
Pati ba nito ungkatin mo, Luchi? Ano ba yan?
Siyempre, Women's Month eh. Pakita naman natin.
Women's Month.
Oo.
Ah,
Bayanihan dancer to.
talaga, kung hindi lang ikaw si Luchi, talagang
Ang galing nga nito eh. Kung
Na.
minsan, pag walang magawa, bigla na lang magpo-post.
Uy,
Na
hindi.
parang,
I cannot even stand straight anymore.
Well, at that time, you would do the pose of the Thai dancers. Kaganyan-ganyan ka dyan, oh. Tapos parang feeling ko, ang galing, oh, talagang nagbe-bend na. You're so
Hindi na ako pwede. Hindi na ako. I
Tell
will
me
fall.
about it.
I'll
How
fall.
did you get into that?
I love dance. I love theater. As a matter of fact, in my undergraduate, in my graduate school, I took up children's theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Bakit children's?
Bakit children's? That's a good question. I think it was the course being offered in the University of Washington when I was there.
Okay.
I used to join plays in high school, but I was not any actress of any quality. But I also like the arts,
Yes.
right? So dancing is one outlet that I felt I could probably tackle.
And Bayanihan.
Bayanihan
Ang
was
galing eh, no?
because women's is the home of Bayanihan.
Yes.
I was in women's when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So Bayanihan was like the looming join Bayanihan. They were
Yes.
going on world tours. So,
Bayanihan was like the madrigals in singing.
in singing.
Diba? Parang,
Yes,
ooh,
yes.
The best.
That time, I was graduating from high school. What happened was, I moved to UP. And that changed the whole thing. I was now in a co-ed campus. I was seated beside boys for the first time during class. Of course, initially I was so nervous. I was sitting beside a guy. But eventually you understood it and say, he's only a guy. My God, we have the same abilities here. Something like that. And UP opened up a whole new world for me. And so I focused on UP. Of course, I met Del
Yeah.
and had a romance with him. You know, parang UP was like an eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
It was your adulting
It was.
season.
It was. It was. Yun.
So when did it occur to you that you would one day be in investigative journalism and the icon of that?
I was watching USTV and I saw 60 Minutes. And I liked it because it was short, it was to the point, and the stories were so interesting. And I thought, this is a nice way to tell stories because ang formats natin noon were talk shows, remember?
Yes.
Here,
Yeah.
puro yung mahahabang
Yes.
kwento, you have 4 guests and they
Yeah.
talk. But I thought, ang ganda nung 60 Minutes kasi like you said, no, there's a story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And at the end of the story, it's like, oh, so that's what happened. That's the aha moment you have.
Yeah, and then so did you set out to actually become
I wanted to be, I liked television also, so I wanted to be on TV, right? And I thought, yeah, I think I can do a good job on TV.
Che, after what we've been through in Probe, fast forward to what? Let's say from 1986 to now, it's about
Yeah.
37 years or so.
Oh my gosh.
No?
That long?
Yes.
Yeah.
But-
And where are we today? We're still in media.
yes.
You're
but-
still doing your thing.
Well, not anymore. I just retired. But
Yeah, but it took you 37 years to retire.
Oh, so much has changed, no?
So much has changed.
And
Yeah.
it's not even just in the way production is done. It's really also in the content, no?
Yes, yes.
Parang nagbago na.
Now, hindi ba? There are phrases post-truth.
Yeah, post-truth, grabe.
I mean, during our time,
walang post-truth. There
walang
was only
post-truth.
one
It was
truth.
present tense, di ba?
Yeah, yes,
Truth.
yeah, yeah.
Parang yun yung ating North Star.
Yeah.
If it was not factual, in fact, in Probe, no? We always mandated na kailangan tatlo ang sources. One side, the other side, and the middle point.
Yeah. Independent pa.
Oh, independent. Pero
Oo.
ngayon, it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
My truth according to my belief.
Yeah. And nobody's wrong.
Yeah. Or,
Parang gano'n di ba? Parang, nobody's wrong.
yeah.
You know, frankly, I don't know how to navigate. Parang,
Yeah, it's hard, especially for us. I mean,
It's
Luchi,
hard,
we're
eh.
called legacy media. I think
yes,
that's
how
a
we're
euphemism
called,
for
no?
old.
Yeah.
I was trying to look at legacy. Sabi ko, bigat naman ito, legacy. Then it occurred to me, ibig sabihin ito old. Hindi na uso.
Yeah.
Pwede nang itapon.
But that's what we're called really, legacy
Yeah.
media.
But the differences are so stark.
So,
Diba?
so-
Everybody now is entitled to his own opinion, at saka if you counter them on their opinion, they feel offended. Parang they cannot be corrected. During our time, there were standards, diba?
Well, they would feel offended also, but they would fight for their position.
Yes.
And it wasn't just my truth. Hindi ganun nun di ba? It was really factual. Did you or did you not do it? Ganun lang kasimple yun, di ba? We're not talking about why you did it, what drove you to do it, what
Yeah.
motivated you. Because, if you stole money, whatever your motivations were.
You stole money.
You stole money, di ba?
Right,
Ganun lang yun.
right.
And if you stole money, that's corruption, di ba?
No, correct. There's
Ganun
only one.
lang
There's
yan,
only
eh.
one word for it, ano?
Exactly, di ba?
Integrity and our credibility is on the line here. So if anybody comes and says that we cannot air a piece, or not to air a piece, or to preview a piece, that for us is tantamount to muzzling our freedom of the press and our ability to say what we mean. And we will never, never, never agree to be intimidated by anyone, no matter who he is.
How do you feel about the audience?
You know, when the internet first came into being about 20 years ago, I thought this is really a great opportunity
Right.
to democratize
Exactly.
information and democratize media. But then it went all the way to the left to the side of
extreme,
abuse.
no?
Oo, to the side of abuse.
On both.
On both ends.
You know, left and right.
Yes. Oo,
Diba?
oo.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'd
Polarized.
like to think na the audience will come to a middle point where
Yeah.
they'll be able to judge na, oh, this is definitely disinformation, this is definitely fake news, gawa-gawa lang ito, this is just one person's opinion. And then look for his own balance, your own balance as a consumer, na I'll look at the right, I'll look at the left, and then make my own conclusion. In the same way that we did it in Probe.
Yes.
But I'm not sure how far or when we're going to get to that point.
Pero ikaw, Che, I mean, at this point, mas advanced ka sa akin eh.
Bakit? In age,
Mas
yes.
matanda ka eh.
Okay, we've settled that point. Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, you were my professor in college.
Yes,
For
yes.
the record.
Yes.
Broadcast production pa. Baba ng grade na binigay mo sa akin, ha?
Bakit mo, ba't ano mo ina-announce yung mga ganyan dito? Dapat hindi na to kasali, dapat ini-edit na to eh. Hindi, dapat binubura yan.
Oo, you made me feel so mediocre.
I did. Well, look what happened to you. That was incentive for you to become who you are now. You owe me. You owe me.
No, but you're still very active, and I admire you
No,
for it.
no, no.
You have
I think-
advocacies, and then you campaign for Lenny.
Yes, I
very
did.
actively.
Yes.
So, nakakabilib ka rin na parang, you know, you're just not criticizing. You're going out there and making known to people
Yeah.
what you believe should be done or who to vote for. Or,
That was a good experience, the campaign for Lenny, because you know you were down in the grassroots, but I like many people, I miscalculated on what I thought was
Why?
happening. That I thought there was a groundswell. I thought that would lift her all the way up to the presidency, but it
Hindi
didn't.
pala, no?
Kulang.
Kulang.
Hindi pala, and
Yeah.
it was disappointing because the effort was. I saw so many people putting
Yeah.
in the effort. Na parang hindi ka nag-iisa is correct in that sense, but it can get frustrating when you see na all your effort and your observations na, wow, this is going to translate. And it doesn't. Frustrating din yun. As we practiced over 25 years, the value system and the probe standard kept on passing on to the next generation. And they themselves upheld that standard. As far as idealism is concerned, there was no question about it. Idealism was alive and well, and it is to them that the credit belongs.
how would you hail truth, having been a journalist after 4 decades?
Actually, I think in today's milieu, truth is being tested and being challenged. Unlike before, where there were gatekeepers and there were standards that we could look back to and say, is this the truth? Does it affect anybody negatively by saying certain things? You know, the 4-way test. That seems to have been thrown out the window. Right now, truth is what you think it is, your perception of what it means. So it's a very personal thing, which is good if you truly believe in it. But if you only believe it because you want to continue the lie or continue your belief in certain aspects, then I think it threatens the whole fabric of what we call truth telling. How do we now know if this is true or not? How can we tell if somebody is pulling our leg or telling us a really well thought out lie that it's enough for us to believe it. When we look at all the feeds that are coming in on social media today, it gets confusing, di ba? Because you have several versions of the same story. So I think we have to hold on to what we truly believe in internally, without considering the opinions of others.
Ako, the way I read it is, I think people mistake belief or opinion with truth. I think that it's so important these days when you're listening to anyone
Yeah.
to see whether that is an opinion or a stand of yours. That's not truth.
But that has been mixed, huh? They have
Exactly.
It's like
That's
those two
feeling
have-
ko, that's where the confusion comes from.
yes.
And so when people state an opinion
Yeah.
and pass them off as fact,
Yeah.
then the ones listening, depending on whether they like this person, how they feel about this person, will now think that because
it.
she said it, it must be true. So I think that ultimately, Che, what I love about what we did and still do to a certain extent is, look, we give you the video, we give you the soundbite. We will not edit it. You have our word for it. We will not take it out of context. You judge for yourself
Yeah.
whether he's telling you truth or opinion. And that is why I'm really hoping that in the new generation, someone will tell them, or they will, with the help of the technology available to them, and all the information that's there, I really, really want to believe that they will be able to distinguish the basic foundational truths of life, and they can tell whether something is truthful or whether something is a conviction.
Right. Truth should be our North Star.
Yeah.
And it should remain that way despite the upheavals and the changes around us.
Amen, amen.
Sayang. Okay.
Hey, there you are. Yeah.
Sarap.
Sarap.
Oh, di ba?
So
Gawa lang.
subtle.
We just did it here. Hey guys, have some puto for sale.
Eh, ikaw talaga ang OG, man.
Yes.
Original gangsta.
Meaning, idol, epitome.
Very different level.
Hindi ko na naintindihan yung mga...
Mga
wala na. Ay,
Meron-
boss!
Meron
Ma'am, yung-
street level yun, ma'am. OG
Oo.
yung tawag kay Meryl Streep.
Ganon.
Ikaw yun.